Yes. Christmas post. Let's get into it like straight away. Um, Today's video is going to be on money, the psychology of money, how I kind of go about spending money, what is money, saving, investing, just the general, very general stuff, nothing too specific. We'll go along into that into another video, I'm sure. But so let's get cracking. What is money? Now, money, the definition of money is something that is tangible, something that is fungible, something that holds value. Those are the sort of the three main things. There are a couple others, but those are the three main things. And so, really, when you compare different assets, i.e., gold versus the US dollar, you take a look at each of those different assets and you think, hold up, the dollar isn't actually money? Right, and let me get into this. So, money is something that holds value. Currencies don't hold value, right? So your pounds in your bank account, they hold no value. They lose value. And so if you go and look at the purchasing power of the US dollar over the last 100 years, you will find that it has lost 99.13% of its purchasing power since it was created, i.e. your $1 is worth 99% less than it was 100 years ago. And so what that really means is you're poorer. That's it. You can purchase less, so therefore you're poorer. And every year you get poorer if you do nothing about it. Like, it's horrible. This is a horrible truth about the world. And to be honest, I wish it didn't exist. But, I was born into this world, and this is the world this is how it is. And I've got no control over it. And it's unfortunate. It's horrible. But it is what it is. You will always get poorer if you do nothing about it. It's a simple truth. And so averagely you get poorer by about 6 to 11% every year, um, through two things, through inflation and through currency debasement. I'll get on to currency debasement in a separate video because I do believe it's a very important topic that no one really actually knows what it means, and what it does and why it is like a thing. But yeah, in essence of it, it's a devaluation of a currency, or money. It's a devaluation of money, um, for X, Y, and Z reasons. And so now that we sort of covered what money is, we can clearly see, well, we haven't really clearly covered it, but like on the basis of it, it's something that holds value, something that can be exchanged, and something that can be divisible, right? The dollar can be divisible. The dollar can be exchanged, but the dollar does not hold value. And so now you go and look at gold. Gold can be divisible. You can have quarter ounce coins. You can have an ounce. You can have a kilo. You can have, and you can have a ton. It holds value, and it can be exchanged. You can go into a shop, into a pawn shop, and you can say, "Give me gold, and I'll exchange an item that you have." You can't do it in supermarkets, etc. But that's why currencies exist, because it's more exchangeable. So, really, what I really want this video to be is to convey to you the importance of actually doing something about not getting poorer. Now, a lot of people think that the baseline to retaining money, i.e., retaining purchasing power, is saving. Saving. Now, saving, for me, the definition of saving is to retain, to have and keep, right? That's to save, to have and keep, right? So if you only, let's just use it on very basic levels here. If you only worked 1 hour in a year and you earned £10 a year, and so your year's wage is £10. I know it's completely unrealistic, but just go with me on this. So you have £10, and you decide to save all £10, right? And you put it in a savings account that does three less than percent. Let's just call it 4%, right? After that year has finished, in your bank account, you will have 4p. So you have 10p, £10 and 4 pence. Now, actually, what it's worth isn't that pound value. because of inflation and because of currency debasement. So as a result, you've actually lost the ability to spend what you have in an equal amount of goods and services than you did the year before. And so actually what is on paper, £10 and 4 pence is actually less than £10 and 4 pence, and it's like £9 90 pence. Right, let's just use that. And so if you kept doing that for 10 years because you thought that, that 4% was gas, you've actually lost money. You've lost the ability to spend the money the way you could when you first started. And so the definition for me is retaining purchasing power. So what people count as investing, i.e. buying premium bonds, buying government bonds, buying a very, very low risk asset that has a very, very low yielding return, like a bond has in between 3 to 5%, depending on what government bond you buy, what maturity, etc., whether it be 2 year, 10 year, 30 year, and whether you're buying a more risk on government bond or a more risk off government bond. Like more risk off is certainly US government, and a more risk on maybe a government in in emerging markets like Asia. Not Japan though. Japan is the exception there. Very low interest rates. Again, we can do a whole nother video on Japan. Very interesting case study. But yeah, so to save money to retain purchasing power, you must be doing above the baseline of what you thought was actually possible for saving. And so what that really means is I would define saving as baseline investing. Now, baseline investing is just getting market return, i.e., buying into the S&P 500, which is the US stock market, and just buying into it continually over time. And you'll be beating inflation and you'll be beating currency debasement while doing so, because I think it grows on around about basis of 10 to 15% a year. Obviously, this year was a bit different. We had tariffs and other market drivers, but on the basis of it, over time, it does about 10 to 15%. So you are beating inflation and you are beating currency debasement. And so therefore that's the baseline for saving your money. Now, investing is a whole different proportion, because I believe investing is the ability to make money on the money that you've provided for that carrier. And so what that really means, sorry for the interruption, my mum just came and dropped off some Christmas presents in my room. But yeah, so what that really means is beating the market. For me, investing is trying to beat the market. Obviously, you may sometimes not beat the market, which is obviously okay. But investing for me is trying to beat. This is just for me, by the way. This isn't like the entire world's belief. This is just my belief on saving and investing. And this is coming through the lens of an 18-year-old, so I'm more risk on than someone who may be 60 or 70 and has a pension and has kids, etc. But because I'm lower in age, I can afford to take more risks. I have more money to play around with that I don't really care about losing. And so yeah, to me, investing is beating the market, i.e., beating the returns of the S&P 500. Now, you can do that lots of different ways, and you can buy gold, you could buy silver, you could get into crypto, you can buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum, Solana, XRP, AVAX, Doge, BNB. It could be here all day naming coins that are okay to buy. But at the basis of it, it's beating the market. And so what I want to convey to you is that if you forever stay in the mindset that saving money is good, you're going to remain poor for the rest of your life. Hate to say it, it's brutal, but it's the truth. And so sometimes you need to have that hard conversation with yourself and actually admit the things that are going on and actively try and change it. I've literally just realised that I've got the fattest spot here. Just peek, and it's hella red, but who gives a shit? No one cares about that. So yeah, guys, what I do, that's the key bit, because this is all about me. This YouTube video, this YouTube channel, it's all about me. And so what I do, I don't save. I think saving is the baseline, and people who are really, really risk adverse, i.e., they hate risking anything, they should be doing the baseline. But I couldn't give a shit. Couldn't give a toss. Not one toss. I want to risk everything. Like, no risk, no reward. And so I'm very risk on. Most of my portfolio is incredibly risk on. I do have some risk off assets. I do have some bonds, etc., but they're in lifetime ISAs, and I won't really be touching that for a while. That's more for like deposits down on a house in the future. But I'll have them more money than the ISA in like a year, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm generally very risk on. I own a lot of crypto. I own a lot of stocks. Well, I don't own a lot, but I own a lot in. And so, yeah, I'm very risk on. Very, very risk on. And I think that if you truly want to build financial security, economy, if you truly want to build financial security from a young age, you need to be okay with taking risks, and you need to be okay with taking losses, because obviously losses come with risk. Like for every risk you take, there is a potential that you lose. There's a potential that you put money in a company and it goes down. There's potential that you put money in crypto and it goes down. There's a potential that you put money in silver and it goes down. There's potential to losing money everywhere. And so that's really the art, is to not lose money, obviously. Who the fuck wants to lose money? But sometimes losing money is a good thing because it's a lesson and you can take the lesson from it. And so that comes back to my other video, actually talking about like a lesson is only a lesson if you learn from it. Mistake isn't a lesson unless you learn from it, and so a mistake stays a mistake if you never learn from it. Have I covered everything I wanted to cover here? Let's recap. Let's recap. So, money is not what you have in your bank. In fact, that money in your bank doesn't even belong to you. It belongs to the bank through fractional reserve lending. Could make another video on this in the future, but yeah. Saving is bullshit. If you're young, you shouldn't save. In my opinion, if you were me, I wouldn't save. I don't save. I would invest. I would invest that money in things that pay you back for the time you spent earning the money to invest. And so I like using the phrase. Pay in time to earn money. Use money to pay you back for the time you spent earning it. Now, it kind of goes straight over your head, but basically, in essence, what it means is the time that you pay, because time is a currency, the time that you pay for getting money should be used to pay you back for the time you spent earning it. So obviously you get paid for your time, but everyone gets paid for their time unless you're doing charitable work. The thing is, if you let that money not work for you, then all you're doing is nothing. Like, you're doing nothing. If you're not letting your money work and grow, then you're not paying yourself back. You're getting paid for the work, but you're not paying yourself back. The person who you work for is paying you. You're not even paying yourself. So you need to work for someone who pays you for the time that you spend, and then with the money that they give you, you pay yourself back as a reward for working hard by making more money. So whether that's through investing, or whether that's through investing in skills or investing in knowledge, doesn't matter. I'm not talking about, it doesn't always have to be literal investing in a stock market or crypto or whatever. It can be investing in a mentorship or a course. Like, listen, I'm not anti-courses or anti-mentorships. I've said this in another video. I have a mentorship. It's sick. Only if you find the right people. And so if you're not reinvesting money to pay you back for the time that you spent earning it, then you're just wasting your time. Because if you spend time earning something that loses value every year, and you never grow that amount of money, then what, like, I don't understand what you're doing. Like, you've got no security, you've got no rainy day fund, you've got nothing. Like, I know if everything goes to shit, I can liquidate my holdings like somewhat easily and do whatever I need to do with it. But like, some people just don't have that. They literally just live like paycheck to paycheck, wondering like what they're gonna do with the money when they get it. I do that too, but just in a completely different way. In a completely different way. Like, when I get paid, I only know what I'm putting my money into. My money does not stay in my bank longer than about 2 weeks. I get paid my monthly check, my monthly wage or whatever. I know what I'm investing in. I put it in there and we go again. I keep a little bit just for what I need for the month, and then we go again. That's it. It's a reoccurring cycle. And the more and the longer you do that, the bigger your portfolio will be. And so the more growth that you'll see over a long time, because compounding is exponential. And if you look into compounding, it's a seriously like unicorn of mathematics. But just on the face of it, you need to understand that the money you have in your bank isn't yours. The money you have in your bank loses, like you can buy less with that money every year. And the time you spent earning it is being wasted if you don't do anything about it. It's listen, like it's horrible. Like it is a dog eat dog world. Like it's horrible. If you don't do anything about anything, like if nothing changes, then nothing changes. Like it makes complete sense. Like if you don't do anything, then nothing will happen. Input equals output. All of these sayings, they mean the exact same thing. If you don't do anything, nothing will happen. And so if you keep expecting to be a millionaire, or you keep expecting to have sort of some sort of security, or you keep wanting to put a deposit down on your house in the future, or you keep wanting to have kids, where do you think this money's going to spawn from? Because it's not going to spawn from you spending time to earn money and then spending the money on useless shit, because then what your money disappears. You're not going to have any money. Like, where do you expect a deposit to come down on the house for? Tell me. Like, it doesn't spawn out of nowhere. Money doesn't grow on trees. Literally, it grows in the Federal Reserve. That's actually a good one. That's made me laugh quite a bit. I will do another video on the Federal Reserve and Feder the Federal Reserve, why it was created, when it was created, how it was created, what its purpose is, etc. But a whole central banks is a whole other different topic. But yeah, man, I'm so excited to pump out these videos. I don't mean like consistently, but I just mean like when I post them, we just go at it, because I really enjoy just talking to the camera, talking through my thought processes, and really thinking that what I have to say can help some people. I've said in other videos, it's like if what I do has helped me, I don't see why it wouldn't help other people. I'm no different to any of you. Um, I just realized a few things and then I just took action on them. Some people realize things and then never take action on them, and then some people just don't even know. So those three kind of categories of people that I say three or four categories of people. It's like people who don't know, so they don't do anything. People that know but don't do anything, and the people that do know and do something. Those are three kind of people that I sort of view in life as just like a very generalized basis. And the no can be about anything, but just on a generalized basis, like that's how it goes. And so if you really want to have financial security when you're older, it has to start now. Like it's become harder and harder over the years to put a deposit down on the house. Why do you think? Because the purchasing power has decreased significantly. And so you have to technically earn more. Because what happens is when the value of your currency goes down, it distorts the asset prices, i.e., distorts the price of your house, because people can purchase less with their money, and so the house prices go up. Like people will be like, "Oh, the housing crisis, like houses cost so much," but no one ever knows why. There's never a problem, and so I might put a link down in the description, um, talking about a video. I'm talking about a video here that really, it's amazing. It's an amazing video. Like it's an incredible video, and I'll link it down below because it is a great video. And it's called "What Is the Problem" by Joe Bryan. And Joe Bryan, don't never met him, don't know who he is. Not got a Scooby. Like he's just like a pro crypto kind of guy. But he made a video talking about what is the problem with the world and why are all these problems all somehow and seemingly interlinked. There is one reason: currency debasement. Like, do we want like some flowers and a Christmas light? Like, no, it's some person in government with a big red button says, "Fuck you, let's print some more money," and then there's more supply, and then the asset prices go up, and everyone goes ah, and the purchasing power decreases. Simple stuff, simple stuff, simple stuff. I may make a more simplified but like explaining it kind of video in the future. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here for a 20-minute video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something new, maybe took on a few new perspectives. I may create another video on this in the future. But yeah, man, hope you guys all enjoyed your Christmas. I certainly did. Got this fucking sick ass statue. Have a look at that. That's fucking sick. And yeah, man, spent time with the family, had some decent food, and gonna go see the boys later. Um, yeah, man. Keep safe out there, people. Protect your purchasing power. You know what to do. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you like the content. There is more content like this coming up. And yeah, man, I'm super excited to get the ball rolling back on YouTube again because I really enjoy this platform, and I'm sacking off TikTok because like, it's just no one has the attention span of longer than about a minute on TikTok, and this video is 20 minutes, and I could easily make this 30 and 40. So yeah, man, keep safe, everyone. Hope you had a nice Christmas. Drop down in the comments if you've got any questions. I always reply. Always trying to offer some help. Um, and reach out via my Instagram. And if you can find me on Snapchat, reach out on Snapchat. Even try and reach out on TikTok if you want. I will respond to you. Uh, but yeah, just generally try and just increase the amount of money that you have because that's the only way you can beat inflation and currency debasement. It's a long-term thing. It's a sneaky stealth tax. You don't really notice it until like 10 years later, and you think, well, I used to be able to go to the shop and buy this amount of money with this amount, and now I can't. But yeah, it's a stealth tax. Don't get caught up in it. Keep safe, people. Hope you enjoyed your day. And the new year, big things coming from everyone, I believe. If you want to put the effort in and you want to get grinding, let's get grinding. Bosh.